USIU is a great university, high quality education, international, inclusive, diverse, and just absolutely beautiful campus.
USIU has, over the last 50 years, developed a very, very vibrant campus that houses modern buildings, that has state-of-the-art learning facilities. Take, for example, our library. Our library is the best in the region, holding so many collections. Many of them are very modern collections. A student in USIU currently can do research and be exposed or can access journal articles, for example, that were published even yesterday. And at the end of the day, there is a place where they can go relax, they can go network with other students, and it provides an all-round experience on campus, so that apart from just being in the classroom, they also have a place where they can extend their learning outside of the classroom through clubs and societies and networking with other students.
Over the last 50 years, USIU has made absolutely remarkable advancements. We started with 5 students. Now we have over 8,000 students. We started with 1 or 2 programs. Now we have close to 30 degree programs at all levels, the bachelor, master's, and doctoral. And we're introducing a lot of new academic programs, particularly in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, through our School of Science and Technology. A lot of new programs are also coming in the School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, as well as, of course, in the School of Communication, Cinematic, and Creative Arts.
Our classrooms are all networked. Faculty are trained and well-versed in engaging students via the Blackboard, which enables students to be able to access up-to-date information regarding each and every course. Our student and faculty ratio is also the highest or the best nationally, where we have a ratio of 1 to 31. And therefore, a faculty member in a classroom can have very close interaction with students and provide for hands-on, provide for discussions, and the faculty member therefore can get to know students intimately and provide a very enriching classroom experience because of the low numbers, the low ratio, and also coupled with the fact that there are learning facilities that are available to every student.
Everything about USIU is different and new. It was always a beautiful campus, but in those days, I graduated in 1997. And in those days, there were patches of dust where the vision hadn't quite been realized. And so to come back, more than 20 years after I graduated and to see this world-class establishment is really quite amazing.
In 1994, I came down a very dusty, red dusty road. So even getting to the university, you had this cloud of dust billowing around the campus. My first instinct was, oh my, we've got a lot of work to do.
When I was in university here, they had 2,000 students. You're at about 8,000 at the moment. So it's grown massively.
And one of the challenges that I think as an institution over the last 50 years was the managing growth. As I said, we started with 5 students, and the number of students grew and so on and so forth. To grow in those days, 1970s and even the 1980s, was not easy because at that time in Kenya and many African countries, public higher education was the main focus.
USIU celebrates the fact that it offers education to take you places. And I think if you look back, USIU alum find themselves in very interesting places, both in their personal and professional lives. And my hope for the next 50 years is that the education not just takes people places, that the education creates places and spaces for everyone in society.
For 50 years now, they've been providing us with quality academic excellence.
And I think that overall our students have also performed extremely well. And that's not for me or any other one individual member, but I think that the environment is such that people, that it creates an environment of learning, creates an environment of producing something which is everlasting.
The proof of the pudding, as they say, is in the eating, right? And the proof of the quality of education of any institution is in its graduates. In this case, the graduates who become alumni. And USIU can be absolutely proud of the alumni that it has produced.
I think what USIU gave me was a different type of learning. Once you're in business and finance, you would think that you're only going to study finance and business, and learning, psychology, learning sociology, having a course on philosophy of life. All that gave me a different perspective to life, and I think I now take my philosophy of life as being very clear, being a soul, in a human body. But at the same time, I think the whole social angle was quite crucial, where you interact with people, and it's not just about work, it's about having fun at work. So, like I say, I never work, I just have fun, and therefore I treat life as fun.
Well, honestly, if I didn't go to USIU, I don't think I would be the person I am today. Like, if I'm just to start on a social level, like USIU introduced me to people from all walks of life.
Knowledge of the subject matter, communication of the subject matter, and working together cooperatively. I think the faculty in many of their courses help students to gain those additional skills that are necessary in the workplace.
The self-awareness, the emotional intelligence, a lot of who I am was nurtured and refined here at USIU.
So a can-do attitude, and I think that's the important thing that came from USIU was a can-do, that you can change things around, you can make things different, and not accepting the status quo was probably a big learning at USIU.
As I'm trying to expand my business now from just not only a record label, but to be a media, kind of label. Because I always wondered where my education is ever going to come in handy. But now I'm realizing that besides just having musicians, I have the power to become a small media house and tell stories, and positive African stories for that matter. So I miss the things Jokadi taught me, because I want to do that class again.
USIU, I think, has had impressive developments, because it has been, first of all, very prudent in the use of its resources, and very visionary and strategic in terms of leadership and planning for the future. Currently, we are operating under the 2015-2020 strategic plan, which has 5 goals. One is, of course, to expand and strengthen our academic programs in order to provide a holistic education to our students. The second goal is, of course, diversifying our revenue sources. As a university, like many Kenyan universities, we are dependent on tuition. And of course, we understand that if we want to continue growing the way we envisage growing, then of course we have to diversify our revenue sources. And in this regard, we've been trying to increase, strengthen the capacity of the advancement division. The third goal is to ensure that USIU continues expanding its physical and electronic infrastructure, again, for obvious reasons, because infrastructure is extremely important for the core business of the institution. The other strategic goal is, of course, to continue improving our human resources using best practices. And then finally, the strategic plan talks about the need for us to strengthen and enhance our reputation and visibility.